Hey guys, I was watching a video where a very popular IT tycoon was giving a speech and saying Indians to stop raising kids, control your population. I was laughing that they all have hopes on people. I mean, we are left on our own to deal with the situation. Nobody's going to do nothing about it. Okay. So it's a very, if you haven't seen the video, I mean, it's the same guy who said that we have to work about these many number of hours. I didn't like it. I believe that every Indian should be able to enjoy his life, should be living in a stable, calmer environment, and should be with subtle amount of love to other community. See, we were never a big nation. We were a group of provincial states which were being clubbed together to a big nation. And it's a very good quality for any nation and its people to somewhat live in a togetherness. But if somebody is being told to do and say things like that, it hurts. Anyways, we could do nothing about it. We can only do about us. This video is going to be about alpha male, the alpha guy, the concept of the narrative which has been flowing around very rampantly about alpha guy, getting girls and all those things. So you must have been aware about this term, taking the red pill and the blue pill, and then going beyond and who is an alpha guy. What happens when you take the red pill and all. I'm not going to explain all of this, but psychologically speaking, there is no such definition. There is no such term. It is a type of psych, and every man has either the alpha traits or a beta traits. Alpha being the one who is dominating, controlling, sexually in charge, the one who plays and parties. I mean, in those lines. Now, there could be men who would be masculine and who would have a lot of discipline and they will not be following the same lines. But one way or the other way, the modern society and modern culture is going to take everybody to that loop because everybody is going through that doom. There is very few scope, few things are going to happen in that situation. I'm going to explain you. So first of all, when you stumbled upon that video, when you had a breakup, that the alpha male strategies: be a bad guy, do not be weak to the female, be strong to the female, blah, 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 blah. I mean, there was a huge lot of concept which you must have studied in those videos, and you must have done the same, and you must have got a girlfriend or two or maybe more. See, I'm going to say you all these tricks will not work in your marriage. Yeah, ask from any married guy who was an alpha guy or who was a beta guy. Does all those traits helped him to lead a calmer, nicer marriage? It won't be there. Try to ask. See, there are certain characteristics of a man which he has to possess, not being any of these alpha or beta. That's a separate thing. But then being a toxic guy is going to end up in a divorce. It's going to be a very highly dysfunctional relationship, and you will be in a jail. Yeah, that's what is going on. If you try to be the toxic guy in your marriage, you will be in a jail. Yeah, I'm not going to explain that part, but what you have to do is, see, right now in these times, a man cannot be vulnerable to a female, but there are some females who possess those calm nature, that traits. See, every man wants to confide in a female. Every man wants to share the deepest, darkest secrets to that kind of a female, and he eventually slowly opens up. It takes time, maybe 6 to 9 months. But the idea now is to have things quick. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, you just want to fuck. You want to have sex. Both of you want to have sex, and you do not think about even the finances. You haven't done no savings at all. You are just living through the life, doing this course, learning this language and working, finding a new job, finding a new project. You are not aware that the traits which you have to possess to lead a successful offspring, you are not having that. And while consuming the content on the internet, which is working very fine in the Western ideology, it won't work for the Indian community. See, that concept of have sex as much time, as many times, it's not there for this race. Yeah, it's not. There are books written which are exclusively mentioned this. The abstinence is mentioned over it. So in a marriage, in a type of girl to find for the marriage, she should be calm, very nice way of having maturity in it, and you should be able to be vulnerable to that girl. You should be able to speak things to her, and she should not be disrespectful about it. See, when you give a girl time about 6 to 9 months and there is nothing sexual in your mind, you will eventually meet that kind of a girl. Okay, And even if she is not, she can choose to be that kind of girl or not. My idea is to get rid of the sexual part in your brain. Once you do that, you can form a connection which will lead you towards that side. Whether you want to marry or not after that point, it's up to you. But then once you put sexual characteristic in your brain, she won't deny it, but then it will still mess you up. Being vulnerable to a female is a very strong quality. And in these times where females are so much disrespectful, try saying a few things personal about you. She's going to make fun of you. A female does not like these days a man who is weak, who says weak things. She won't say that he's a strong guy, he's trying to let you know things, just to make you aware, just to let you be. Just being vulnerable to a female is not considered as a positive trait. You gotta get rid of all of those traits, because it's gonna be very harmful. You will never be able to have healthy children. Your children will not talk to you. They know everything. They know the things. They will pick up these traits from you, and they will realize that these are all toxic traits and you have been a bad father. They will give up on you. They will come to know about it, and they won't say to you, but you will realize that you have messed up. So while you are seeking a girl for any kind of thing, you gotta choose abstinence. And my next thing is the nice guy. So for nice guys, nice guy will forcefully try to follow this alpha traits. I would like to advise you guys, like, do not follow these traits. Do not try to change yourself just to obey to a narrative. Try to remain in your own form and be more masculine, and take your own time. See, you're gonna filter out a lot of people through that. While keeping in your own trait, in your own psyche, you will have to have friends. And you cannot have friends by being fake. While being alpha, you can get those girls. You can marry as well. But then your real character can be shown later on. That will result in a divorce and other things. But for a nice guy who is opened up, who has told everything at the first, he won't be able to have that kind of a situation too often. While you still have to be protective and to provide to the female, but by being calmer, nicer, honest, genuine, you will live a calmer, better life than that fuckboy. Yeah, your kids are gonna be much more confident in sharing things with you, and it will be relatively easier life than being somebody who has to go through the false narratives. See, our society is changing. Our society has a huge impact